Hi Ultimate Gardeners, welcome back to the Ultimate Gardening channel. I'm Emmanuel Arce, the Ultimate Gardener. My goal is to help you guys grow in the garden industry and help you guys become an Ultimate Gardener. And today's exciting sprouting video, I'm going to give you guys an entire care guide on Arborvitaes. Arborvitaes are one of the most well-known evergreens out there in the garden industry because of how fluffy they are and the structure they bring in the garden. And so this is the first ever Arborvitae that we own. So before anything, I want to give a huge shout out to plantingtree.com for sending this out for me to trial this year. They are an amazing company, and so they provided the Morgan Chinese Arborvitae for us to try out this year. And so if you guys want to know an entire care guide and a step-by-step on how to care for your Arborvitae, please stay tuned with us. So Ultimate Gardeners, coming in number one is sun exposure. Sun plays a huge role in Arborvitaes because their coloring is based on sun. If you know, here in Florida we have no winters at all, but when this was sent to me, you guys, this was such pretty color, you guys. It was such a deep dark green with brown fall color. It was something I never seen before, but within the next 2 days the sun hit it, and guess what? It color changed to light green. And so due to the sun, it changed its color to now light green. But if you put it in a shaded area, or if you barely have sun in your area, this will stay a dark green. And so I like my Arborvitaes to be bright and colorful because that's what I really do love in the garden, because they bring the structure in the garden. And so you want to be planting this in a full sun location to keep it happy. So let's move on to watering. So Ultimate Gardeners, number 2 is watering. Watering does not play a big role in Arborvitaes because Arborvitaes are evergreen and they adapt to a lot of weathers out there. Here in Florida, we get rain every single day, and so watering is not necessary with Arborvitaes, especially when they're established. They prefer to be watered one time every 3 days when they're newly planted, but when it comes to over 5 months, this should be stable enough to not be receiving water at all. And then every week you should be giving it a douse of water so it can stay happy. Here in FL, we barely even have to water our plants due to how much rain we receive every single day. So once again, water one time every week if your Arborvitae is established, but if it's newly planted, one time every 3 days. So let's move on to fertilizing. So Ultimate Gardeners, coming at number 3 is fertilizing. Arborvitaes do not prefer to be fertilized as usual or as common like regular annuals do, because evergreens in general don't like to be fertilized a lot because they like to be planted and then let go. That's the sort of thing that I like about Arborvitaes. And so fertilizing is required only one time every 2 months for them, and so there's not such a huge hassle in fertilizing every month because evergreens like this one doesn't ask for too much. But at one point you could even stop fertilizing and it will be amazing. But here and there it is good to give it a good dose of nutrients and proteins that it needs to, you know, thrive in the garden. So one time every 2 months will do great for your Arborvitae. So now let's go ahead and move on to trimming. So Ultimate Gardeners, trimming plays a huge role in Arborvitaes due to the size you want it to be. I don't think I'm gonna be trimming my Arborvitae at all because the size it gets is not that big at all. And so trimming it will sort of be like, in case you want it to be like a very, very, very petite size, sort of like this one, and you want to keep it this size, then trimming plays a role. So you want to trim these about late winter, early spring, when your last frost date has passed, because frost could absolutely kill your plant if you give it a nice fresh haircut and then a frost comes, and then frostbite could get to your plant and eventually kill it off. And so late winter or in early spring is recommended to actually trim off your Arborvitae to the size you want it to be, or whenever your last frost date has passed. And so here in FL, we can literally trim whenever we want because we get no frost at all. The lowest temperature we had was like 55, and so trimming does not play a huge role with Arborvitaes here. And so whenever we want to trim is whenever we want to. So that's how things roll here in FL. So once again, trim late winter to early spring or when your last frost date has passed. So let's go ahead and move on to height and width. So Ultimate Gardeners, now it's time to talk about height and width. So the height of the Morgan Chinese Arborvitae is 2 to 3 feet in height and 1 to 2 feet in width. I'm telling you guys, this Arborvitae grows small and petite, and I think it's a dwarf type of Arborvitae. This is something I like to plant in the garden because it brings structure and delicacy in the garden because how fluffy it is and how airy it looks, but the structure of it keeps the garden in form and makes it formal and elegant. That's right up my alley. I don't like overgrown evergreens that get too tall and too messy because that for me is not structural or elegant or airy. That's messy for me. And so you want to have structural things in the garden, but it's always adjusted to your liking in the garden because it's your garden, not someone else's garden. So if you like big overgrown arborvitaes, go for it because that's your garden. But here in my garden, I prefer small, petite size arborvitaes. So that's what we're gonna be planting in this garden. So I think that's gonna be it for this entire care guide, you guys. So let me go ahead and wrap it up for you guys. So to my gardeners, that's gonna be it for this exciting sprouting video. Once again, a huge shout out to plantingtree.com for sending this amazing arborvitae out for me to trial this year. And so I'm very, very grateful on how it looks and how it's gonna grow because I love it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to support my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to get notified when a new exciting sprouting video comes out, just like this one, make sure to hit that bell notification button so you get notified when a new exciting sprouting video comes out. A huge shout out to one of my friends in this industry. His name is Andrew Nana from Gardening Made Easy. He's a 12-year-old gardener, you guys, and he knows a lot to be 12 years old. And so make sure to go support his channel out. His channel link is down below for you guys to check out, as well as there's going to be a tab popping up somewhere up on the screen, and that's going to be a link towards this channel. So make sure to go subscribe and tell him I said hi. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Never forget to grow big, ultimate gardeners. Bye guys.